The Hollywood Beats take on TV. I'm Tandy Culpepper.
And I'm Lisa Johnson Mandell.
And Lisa, today we are talking about two very dramatic series. One is called Slow Horses, which is a particular favorite of mine. And the other one is,
It's called The Last of Us, which is based on a video game, and a lot of young people are really into it.
all right, we're going to start with Slow Horses. And here's the trailer.
We're on target. Just like old times.
Slow Horses trailer starts now.
Jackson Lamb, you're in charge of the rejects.
I don't like being called that.
What do you call them?
The rejects.
People are sent to Slough House for one or two reasons. One, they're an absolute loser.
Speak for yourself.
And two, they've unwittingly pissed someone off.
We're confirmed it's a car bomb.
A suicide attack on a shopping centre. My God.
I don't know why you're bothering me with all of this. Shouldn't you be out there making sure no more bombs go off?
I need to send a message. You're about to find out that it's all just starting.
He's a monster. He created the assassination squad.
So Slow Horses is based on a series of novels. I think there are 7 of them. And the author is Mick Herron. And I have to say, when I found out about that, Lisa, I bought my first novel, which is called Slow Horses, on my Kindle. And I'm finding it very engrossing.
Oh, good. Even though you know what happens from the television series, you're still into the book. That's a good
It,
sign.
well, when Conclave came out, the movie that was nominated for Best Picture, I immediately bought the novel and then read all of the novels by that author. So, yeah, I kind of don't mind that. The premise, would you like me to go over it or would you like to?
Oh, I'll just talk about it really quick. It's about Slough House. That's pronounced Slough, and that's, of course, it happens, of course, in London. It's sort of an administrative purgatory for M15
Let's
service
just call
rejects.
it what it is, rejects.
Yeah, they're rejects. They've seriously failed at a task, but not bad enough to get sacked, but they're kind of mess ups, we'll put it that way. And they're consigned there. They're known as slow horses, SLOW, play on the name of the place itself. And it's sort of, they just do dull, routine tasks alongside verbal abuse from their miserable boss, Jackson Lamb, who is Gary Oldman, played by Gary Oldman. And he kind of wants them to quit out of boredom or frustration. So he makes sure they're plenty bored and plenty frustrated. But as much drudgery as there is, they always find to get themselves involved in really hot, active cases that endanger all of Great Britain.
And they always
So,
seem to rise to the occasion. And when the you know what hits the fan, they pull out their no guts, no glory attitudes. And especially in the final episode of the 3rd season, I love that one. That's my favorite episode in the whole 4 series. So let me just give my take on Jackson Lamb.
oh, okay.
I have here, he's somewhat misanthropic,
Somewhat.
jaded, a curmudgeon, yeah, somewhat, but he knows his stuff. But he also seems to be someone who's in search of a bottle of a bottle of shampoo, and a bar of soap.
Yes, and can never seem to find it.
Indeed. And his counterpart is played by Kristen Scott Thomas, and her character is named Diana Taverney. she's the she winds up being what they call first desk, which is the director at MI5, but she has to go through a lot of other people above her to get there. And she and Jackson Lamb are like butting heads the entire time. I love this series. I absolutely do.
Yeah, I don't quite feel so much affection for it. As a matter of fact, Jackson Lamb, I think he is so dirty and so gross. I mean, physically dirty. I mean, I have to bring air freshener in the room when I watch the TV. I mean, I just want to go take a shower every time I see him. And what's with the holy socks? They go out of the way to show him with his holy socks, maybe just trying to prove once and again that he never changes his clothes.
Hey, I have some holy socks. Of course, I throw them away. The moths always
Exactly. I don't even
seem
want
to
to.
get them.
I'm so glad they don't show us his underwear.
Oh,
And
that's I there's a sight I won't be able to get out of my mind.
yeah. No, he is just, and he's so mean and he's so terrible to people. And he always comes through in the end. But we have to go through like 7, 8, 9, 10 episodes of seeing him grubby and gross and abusive before in the end he pops off, pulls everything together, sacrifices his life, and says something positive to the people who work for him. He's just such a dislikable character. Now, I realize that I am alone in thinking that because he's always nominated, ever since the show has been coming out, he's been nominated for Best Actor in a Drama Series. People love him. Even though he only shows up, I don't think he shows up for more than 15 minutes in any episode. I mean, to me, he's a supporting character because we just don't see that much of him. Maybe it's because the creators know that we can't stand to see that much of him. I don't know. But when he is on the screen, I will say he makes an impression.
He was nominated, or it was nominated for several Emmys the first season, I think, and it won for Best Writing in a Drama Series, which I have to agree with. There are so many quirky characters in this show that make it, for me, a delight. And here's the thing, the viewership doubled between season one and season two. And it has been so successful, and people are anticipating each new season so much that season five is opening in September, I think September
Mhm.
24th. It's already been renewed for season six and season seven.
And that is a testament to how popular it is because they never renew two shows for 2 seasons at a time. Well, very seldom, only if it's a very popular show. I mean, it's 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 really popular. I'm not going to say that. I was going to say maybe it's a guy thing, except
What
my
about
husband
your
doesn't like it either.
husband? Does your husband
Nah, he doesn't like it either because
really?
it's such a slow burn and none of the characters to me are very engaging. You know, it
I
it
think
moves at such a slow pace, and I know that's intentional because it's called Slow Horses. Moves at such a slow pace until everything finally explodes in the last episode of whatever series you're in.
it was the best season finale was the end of season three when these characters called the dogs were unleashed by the woman who was in occupied first desk. So she was the leader of MI5, and there was a file that they needed to get back because it would have blown up the service. So she sent these people out, guys in full combat gear, to basically shoot to kill and take them all out. And they, at every turn, outwitted these people. And each time somebody of the bad guys got taken out, it was so funny. I mean, that's what made it. There was so much comedy going in there. So to me, it's a spy drama series with a lot of characters with charm, and there are comic moments interspersed throughout. Now, season four centers on two characters, River Cartwright, who is the most normal of the
Yeah.
slow horses, and River's father, who is played by Jonathan Pryce. And he is in the early stages of Alzheimer's. So it's the two of them dominate the fourth season. And I found that relationship very touching. So, do we have any more to say about Slow Horses? Or do
Well,
you
I
want?
I do like that relationship. That's my favorite part of the show. The
Yes.
thing with, with River and his grandpa. His
Oh,
grandpa,
it
isn't
is
it?
his
Yeah, it's
grandfather.
his
Yeah, it's
grandpa.
his
Yeah.
grandfather. And we
Yeah.
meet River's father, who is a ne'er-do-well bad guy who wants to offer River a job. And his father, who's, I think his name is Harkness, is played by Hugo Weaving,
Yeah,
who
that
was,
was a surprise. I did not recognize
I
him.
know, he is one of my favorite actors because of Priscilla, Queen of the Desert.
Oh, yeah.
Did you ever see that?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it was a cock and a frock on a rock. My favorite. And then there was the other line about I can't remember. It was I can't remember the character, but one of the other ones said, so and so has left her cake out in the rain, and she had been drunk and fallen over, and her face was in the cake. So, if you haven't seen Priscilla, Queen of the Desert, and there's a whole generation out there who don't know that movie, see it.
That's
Okay,
a classic. Now, there is one more thing I want to say about this. I think
okay,
maybe one of the reasons that I really am not a fan of Slow Horses is because I am totally burnt out on British spy series.
really,
Yes, and I made a little list of them of the ones that have come. No, it's not a little list. It's a long list of the ones that have been out in the last couple years. So let me read this off real quick. We've got The Agency, Black Dove, Slow Horses, The Day of the Jackal, Spy Master, Spy Among Friends, Citadel, Treason, The Ipcris File, The Night Manager, and Alex Rider. That's almost as many as medical series that we see on network TV. So I'm just kind of burned out on them. I'm
but
kind
they're
of tired of them.
done. All of them are done so well. My brother and sister and I um, love them. We just uh, lap them up. Okay, is it time to go to The Last of Us?
I think it is.
Shall we play the trailer?
Go for it.
This is where we live. What's that?
The fence.
What's inside?
People.
What's outside?
Lisa, run down the premise, would you?
Okay. The Last of Us is a post-apocalyptic drama. It's a TV series on HBO and or HBO Max, as we're supposed to say now, based on the video game franchise of the same name. So people who have played the video game kind of expect what's happened. The rest of us have no clue. Series is set a few days after the collapse of a society, and it's caused by a fungal infection that transforms its host into zombie-like characters. This is sort of the same premise as The Walking Dead. Actually, kind of very similar. The first season follows Joel, who is played by Pedro Pascal, and he's been nominated for a lot of awards for that. And he finds a girl named Ellie, played
After
by
his
Bella
daughter
Ramsey.
dies.
Yes, after his daughter dies, he finds a girl who was about the same age, played by Bella Ramsey, and she uniquely is immune to this virus. So even if one of these monstery things bites her, she
Can
won't.
I stop you for a moment?
Sure, go ahead.
Bella has become one of those they them people. So I think for the sake of my sanity, let's just refer to her as she.
Oh,
Go ahead.
thank you. Okay, good. Because I just realized I said it wrong about 15 times. But now her character in the series is not so adamant about what she is called like that. She is gay in the series, and the first season they're traveling across the United States, and anyway, it's about their travels. The second season is based every year. It's based or every season's based on another character. So the first season's based on Joel. Second season, which we just finished, is it's they've settled. They found a place to settle in Jackson, Wyoming
And
with
isn't it 5 years since?
yeah, since
Okay.
the last one. They've been wandering the land for all this time, and now they've settled in Jackson, Wyoming, where there is a community of people they've built a big fence, a big wall around, it's like a fort around their
It is a fort,
community.
isn't it?
Yeah. And so they're keeping people out. And so in that one, there's a devastating plot twist that those of us who hadn't played the game didn't know was coming. And as far as I'm concerned, totally makes the series jump the shark.
It
Not going to
was
say what it is,
it
but
really, really upset me and my brother and my sister. We were like, what?
yeah, how can they do that? How can they do that?
Just
And it's in
because
the
the
second
game did
episode.
this, just because the game did this, doesn't mean the TV series needed to. They're two entirely different media.
Yeah. Oh, I agree 100%. I was shocked at that, and not in a good way. I mean, I had heard that something devastating was going to happen, and I just thought, well, it can't be this, or that. And then, of course, it was one of those terribly unexpected. And anyway, so then, but that does serve as a vehicle to send some of the group from the Jackson, Wyoming community to up to Seattle, where there's an even larger community. And they've pretty much the entire city is, a battle zone between the people who aren't infected and the zombies who are. And but they've got a lot more, should we say, organization, a lot more civilization up there. It's like a Western frontier town in Wyoming, but in Seattle, it's a lot more sophisticated. Anyway, people from Wyoming go to Seattle to get revenge for this horrible plot
Thing that
twist that
happens.
happened. Yeah. And they find the author of this horrible plot twist up there. They're looking for her and they find her. And it leaves you with a huge cliffhanger at the end
I
too that
was
says,
pretty much shocked by the cliffhanger,
"Me too, me
but
too."
I
So you
can
can't say
figure
the
out.
show is not shocking.
No, I think that we need to worry uh, about what's going to happen in season 3. So,
Season 3 is going to be based on the character of Abby. So you get the focus away from, in the first season, it was Joel. In the second season, it was Ellie. Third season, it's gonna be from Abby's perspective, who is the author of this terrible thing that happened. And I liked the show a lot the first season. The second season, I kind of lost interest because I found that Ellie's character was so freaking annoying. She was such a brat. She was such an annoying person. She grew to hate Joel, who saved her life, who she would not be alive if it weren't for him. And she was really mean to him. She was really mean to everybody. You could always bet on her to not follow directions. If somebody gave her an
But
order,
isn't
she would do
that
the opposite thing.
the worst of being a teenager? I mean, some teenagers are okay and they're mellow, and then some teenagers are just rebellious as all heck. So I did find her annoying, and I have to tell you something else that bothered me. It seems like every time you turn around, there's a lesbian relationship, and or the rare time you see two guys, but does it have to be rammed down middle America's throat? Because this is part of the reason why I think the Democrats lost the election. That's just my take. My brother also says the same thing. Every time that kind of plot uh, device happens, we go, you know, did it bother you?
Yeah, I thought it was a little forced. And I don't mind if the character is gay or lesbian or whatever. I don't have a problem with it. But when it becomes the major focal point of a show that's got so much else going on in it, that there are
Yes.
so many more exciting things that could be happening other than focusing on, is she
It
bi or is
slows
she
down
lesbian
the
or, you know.
story.
Yeah, yeah, it really does. It puts a complication in there that I just really don't care about. I mean, I don't think there'd be that much emphasis if it was on a straight character's relationship. You'd get on with the action and get on with the story and get on with it. But having this be, this complication of him or her or what or how,
Yeah,
it's after a while it gets old.
I will. Okay, I have some positive things to say about the show now that I've eviscerated it. And and it is compelling, so I'm not saying don't watch this show. Don't get me wrong, because when you strip away all the annoying things, the story is pretty compelling. And the imminent danger is always lurking somewhere in the background. What is really top of the line about this show. It is visually stunning. They have these scenes out in the woods with snow. And then I have to say, the production design in Seattle was out of this world. I don't know how they produced all of that. I don't think it was green screen. Do you?
Oh yeah, yeah. A lot of it was definitely green screen.
Oh,
But
wow.
also, do you remember the Salt Lake? The Salt Lake community that they did with the animals, with
Oh,
the wild animals in the
yes,
zoo and everything.
yes.
That was also just off the charts. That was so interesting to look at and see everything. So they do their big cities right.
Yeah, you're right. And it's also to me traveling by horseback first from Baltimore, was that right?
I can't remember where they were originally.
I think they started in Baltimore and then they head west. And oh, that I okay, I'll take back the gay thing for a moment.
I
There
know
was
what you're going to talk about.
there is an episode
That,
in
oh,
season one with these two guys that is so touching and charming and heart-wrenching. You had to you had to and I can't remember the names of the actors,
Nick
but you
Offerman was one of them.
who
Nick Offerman?
was he the guy that had all the booby traps around the
Yes.
house?
Yes, he was the owner of it.
the other guy was on the first season of White Lotus.
His last name is Reed. I can't remember his first name.
Well, yes, he was the one who welcomed everyone to the resort. And the relationship between the two of them is so charming and compelling. So if you haven't watched the first season, you will your heart will melt when you meet these two guys.
I sobbed in that. I think it is the best gay episode that I've ever seen. It was
Yes.
so heartrending. That is, I still get chills when I think of that. Their relationship was so beautiful and very realistic, I felt. It was trying and it was traumatic, but it was such a beautiful love that those two shared. And it's an episode that's kind of set apart from the rest of it. And do you know it won 2 Oscars? The episode won 2 Oscars.
You mean
I
Emmys?
mean Emmys, excuse me. And then Offerman and Reed were both nominated for their portrayals in that, and they were those two guys. Oh my gosh, I'm serious. I get tears in my eyes just thinking about that episode. It's one of the most beautiful episodes I've ever seen of any series.
Yeah. Yeah, it really, really was. And I can't recommend it highly enough because the writing,
Mm.
the acting, the the whole story arc in that episode was magnificent.
It truly stands
Absolutely.
alone.
I preferred season one to season two,
Me too, by far.
and it will be interesting to see if they can inject more charm in season three rather than it be all motivated by revenge and violence.
And hate. Yeah.
Yes, it cannot all be um, painted in one color. You need some variety in a TV show. And that's what Slow Horses has with the comic relief. Because I cannot my brother and I will watch something and he'll say, this has no charm to it. And I can't define exactly what that means, but I know what he's talking about.
Yeah, I understand that too. My husband puts it this way. He said, I don't like any of these characters. I don't like any of them. I don't care what happens to any of them. They're without charm. They're just not
Yeah,
engaging,
you have to have somebody
hmm
that you're rooting for.
Absolutely. Everybody can't be a jerk. Everybody can't be a mess up. Everybody can't be um, mean or whatever. And that was what was so brilliant about the shows like The Office. You know,
Yes,
I mean, but the goofy people showed some charm. Every once in a while, the ones that were totally unlikable, every once in a while they'd come through and you'd see their humanity, and those were little gems. But I think of that has a series that has a lot of people with a lot of flaws in it, but each one has their little spoonful of sugar, and that's what made that show so engaging for so long. There are other shows like that. As we talked about Sex in the City before, I mean, and just like that, boy, everybody's become unlikable in that one, you know?
nobody wants this has charm all the way through it.
Yes. Yes, that's a great one. And even the really annoying people come through every now and then. That's a good example of it. And yeah, I just think that you're right. The Last of Us could use a little more of that. And I'm worried about the third season because the person that they're focusing on is horrible. Everybody hates her, and the lead character just can't be someone who's hated.
There you go. Any more than we want to say about this, or shall we wrap it up?
I think we've wrapped it up pretty well.
All right, I'm Tandy Culpepper.
And I'm Lisa Johnson Mandell.
Thank you for joining us on the Hollywood Beat.